restaurant. Je mange cette orange.
Je prépare le thé.
Je prépare le thé.
Cette pizza.
This pizza. Cette pizza. Nous préparons une pizza. Nous préparons un gâteau. All right. 7 minutes. Chat's not working. Okay, so the question is going to be, oh shit, microphone. Why is chat? Well, I don't want to wait 6 minutes. Fuck this. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, welcome to my new camera. Check it out. I am much prettier than I was before. And I know that's a hard statement. It's a tough statement to make because it's hard to believe that I could be prettier than I was before. I have my chat over here to my left so that I can monitor it there. I was having trouble with this camera. Got it brand new today. Came in the mail. I was having trouble with it. It was crashing my OBS. So I wanted to at least jump on tonight and test and see if it would work on an actual live broadcast. I think is it picking up? It's not picking up audio. Who's there? Hey, Monica. Monica's in the house. What's up, madam? I know you saw my response to your comment earlier. I have added you to the list of active subscribers. Lisa's here. Cheers, Lisa. I am only going to have the one cocktail tonight in my Glencairn glass, a Glencairn from our friends up in Canada. Curio, the numeral O, S, Curious Gin is her Instagram. I believe she has a YouTube channel as well. Y'all tell me, can you tell the difference in quality on this camera versus the other camera? I'm going to take this, oops, that's not working. I'm going to take this live feed and disable this camera in a second, and then I'm going to switch to the other camera. Because that's the whole point of tonight, because I wanted to see if this camera is noticeably different. Okay, it's inactive. Now I will switch to I'm not going to tell you for sure if I'm switching. You'll have to tell me if I switched. Well, it's smaller, so obviously I switched. It's a different aspect ratio too. Huh. Wonder why it switched the aspect ratio from the old camera. Wonder why my old camera's aspect ratio switched, because it was just yesterday it was 16, the full 6 by 60, whatever, 6 by 9 uh, switch. You say just one drink. Yeah, I do say just one drink now. Um, Hi, Sultan. Oh, sorry. Oh, wait. What's the title on this? Oh, Jesus. Nope, this is not the giveaway drawing episode. The giveaway drawing episode was 3 days ago. 2 days ago? Wednesday. It was Wednesday. We gave the bottle away. I need to switch this camera back to the other one. We gave the bottle away, and it was Brian Maxwell who won. Uh, there. Jeez, now it's giant. Okay, I can tell the difference in quality. Uh, Hang on, I gotta adjust this camera. Okay, so I have chat over here on my on my left hand here. I can see it. See, I can tell the difference in quality. Quality is significantly better. Um, so yeah, we did the drawing on Wednesday, and Brian Maxwell won the bottle. Um, yeah, this is a much higher quality camera. So this camera, fun fact, this camera is 1080 resolution. The other, my computer camera here is 720. Cheers, everybody! Welcome to the Old Humble Distilling Company After Hour broadcast. Uh, our quarantine happy hour was with Tanya Rogers. She is a resident space nerd. Um, she is super. I see your eye. Oh, yeah. Tanya Rogers is super interesting, super fun. That is episode 62, I believe. That it went public today at noon. Um, it went public today at noon, and it is a fantastic show. If you haven't seen it already, go check it out. If it looks like I'm reading something down here, I am. Okay, so at some point I'll probably do a studio store. So I've got my new webcam here. It's on a tripod, so I can actually hit my uh, desk and not have my camera go into earthquake mode. Because it was my webcam on my computer. So my computer is right here below the webcam. The webcam is, let's see here. Here's the computer. The top of the computer. The webcam is maybe about that far behind it and above it. I've got my lights over here. This is basically my home office. So you can see the aspect or the field of vision for everything's kind of curved back here. That's kind of cool looking. I had never noticed that before. Um, let's see here. What else is going on in chat? Okay, so hi everybody over in chat. Thanks for stopping by. Really, uh, if any of y'all have seen the video with Tanya, it was a fun show. It was a really fun show to make. Uh, she was drinking some hot tea with honey. I believe I was drinking uh, mostly water that afternoon because the night before I had gone out hunting an armadillo in my front yard. Uh, those of y'all who saw the cookie clicker stream from last Saturday, I can't even say that with a straight face. Those of y'all who saw the cookie clicker stream know that I stayed up really late that night in anticipation of going and hunting this stupid armadillo who was out tearing up my yard. Spoiler alert: we didn't catch the armadillo. Um, it evaded us. And to date, we have not caught that armadillo. My neighbor has set out a live trap, but I think he has baited that trap with leaves. So that's not going to catch an armadillo. He needs to bait the trap with with some what's he need to bait it with? He needs to bait it with some cat food, I believe, to lure the armadillos in. If they come back, he needs to lure them in. My son walks to the bus stop down the way. He said he saw tore up yards all up and down the neighborhood. So it's not just our yard that he is. Uh, yeah, he's 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 on his own channel laughing about not getting caught. You know what I need? I need a little tripod for my phone so I can kind of put it here and watch the chat come up. Um, so I can look at the camera and talk to you and still see the chat. Like maybe I don't know where the hell would I put the. It doesn't matter. Because normally I'd be able to see the chat right here on my screen, but for some reason the chat is not active on the screen. So I recorded. I've started doing the quarantine happy hours as a pre-recording so that I can get all of my quarantine happy hours done in like 3 or 4 days. This November, I am reach over here to my notebook. Already scheduling up my November shows. The episode on the 3rd is going to be me solo doing a Pringles and Lay's one chip challenge and doing kind of an election. We're going to watch the election results as they come in. I'll probably be working the election polls that day. A friend of mine is a county election judge, and I'll probably be working with her, tallying votes and doing all the stuff that they do on elections down there. I won't be working a poll. That is an entirely different job. It probably pays better than working at the polling locations, quite honestly. Um, who else we got coming in here? Hey, Oji-san, I saw you were doing a live painting today. That what I saw of it looked really good. You do some cool stuff. Everybody go check out Oji-san World's page and his back itches and his paintings. Draw, yeah, they count as paintings. Go check out his channel. He's got some really cool art that he puts up on his channel, and he does the paintings live. Um, I'm thinking I may do another live painting. I've got a couple of them here that I've done. Uh, I work in acrylic on canvas myself. I've got in here, I've got a uh, whole mess of acrylic paints that I've got. I keep forgetting the camera's up here now. So I've got a whole mess of acrylic paint that I've got down here. You may be able to see, yeah, you can see my uh, weapons of my instruments of destruction down here, my paint brushes. I've got some more down there. I've got a few over here. Can you see my easel? No, you can't see my easel. It's off in the corner. That is not mine. That is a Gary Denman painting. He is an amazing local artist, and he gave that to, he didn't give that to me. He gave that to me to display at the distillery. It is a very large painting called Barrels. It was inspired by the distillery. He's a big fan of our stuff. This is done by Troy Moore. You can find him on Twitter if you want flags, I guess, of your state. You can do it from him. He's on Twitter, MOEFOE Mofo2, I believe, is his Twitter handle. And this one up here was done. God, I got this one like 5 years ago, something like that. Another local artist who does wood art like this. I have his name and number. Actually, it's written on the back of that so I wouldn't forget it. And of course, here are our lamps, which helps you to not cut your hand off if you are the type of person that likes to cut vegetables in the dark. These will illuminate your cutting surfaces. We actually have those for sale for Christmas. You can get the set. I haven't set a price for the set. I'm going to say you get the set for $80, $40 for a lamp. Um, I think that's a fair price considering those Jack Daniels bottles go for like $65 a lamp. You can get the full set for 80. How's that sound? Uh, but yeah, go check out Oji-san's World. He's got some really cool art. And Monica also, Monica Tia Moni Arts, she does some cool acrylic pours. And I believe, Monica, you can confirm this for me or deny it. you got a art auction coming on your channel in the next few days or weeks. That would be a cool. Go check out her page. She's got some really cool stuff. Does pours with acrylics and acrylic pours on canvas. Looks fantastic. I love that type of art. Uh, I, in fact, at my distillery, when we finish our tasting room build out, our countertop for the bar is going to be resin and acrylic pour that will be intended to look like a granite countertop, and I'm super duper looking forward to doing that. That's going to be a fun little project to do. Um, oh no, Monica, that was just a fistful of them. This whole thing is covered. The inside of this whole thing is covered in like I've got them stretched out from all over here, all the way over here. Uh, I just only I know there's other folks who have a whole bunch more, but this bureau is a mess, and I didn't want to show too much of my distracted disaster of a garbage frame that's going on back there. There's a reason I keep it closed. Yeah, I know you probably have me beat. You do real art. I do. I fuck around with art. Uh, but I do think I would like to do another Boozy Bob episode of the Old Humble Distilling Company Quarantine Happy Hour. Maybe I'll do an after hour Boozy Bob show and do a do a painting in an hour and see what I can come up with. I mean, our boy Bob Ross would blast through those paintings in 30 minutes and put happy little. Of course, he worked in oil. He didn't work in acrylic, but he was dope as hell. I love that guy. Um, let's see here. Yes, those bottles are. That is our straight whiskey lamp. That is our special reserve lamp. You can get one or both. If you get both, it's the package set is $80. It comes with the lampshade, and I don't put the light bulb in there, obviously, because the light bulb may break in transit. But you can get the whole set. Uh, I still have to sit down and determine the pricing, but I'll do that. I'm saying right now you can get the set, both bottles, $80. I haven't even uploaded them onto our website yet, our company store. We have hats, we have shirts, we have tank tops, we have shot glasses, uh, we will have these lamps, everything available for Christmas if you want to do that sort of stuff. That's the spirit. No, actually, this is the spirit. That's the spirit. Get it, whiskey? Haha, I'm funny. Um, if anybody wants to jump in with me, say the word. Damn it, my chat's down. How do I get the Zoom link? Uh, fuck it, I can't do it. I can't do it right now. Well, uh, maybe, maybe I can. Oh wait, I was going to say my guest coming up for the November shows. That's what I was going to do. But y'all distracted me over here with your um, with with all the conversation. Y'all are awesome, by the way. Um, oh, okay. So Oji-san does acrylics too. I'm rolling back up through. Um, so I've started I've opened a conversation. Speaking of, not that anybody was, but oh, can't I? Pop up the chat from YouTube. Let me do that. Let me try that because I don't need to see this because I know what I look like. I've I've seen myself almost every day of my life, right? So I'm going to go to the YouTube. I'm going to see if I can pop out the chat specifically because I think I'm just on the YouTube right now. I don't think I'm on Twitter and I don't think I'm on Twitch. Uh, but see, here's what happens when I go to my YouTube. My screen starts to lag. Uh, but anyway, so the guest that I have coming up for November, I have a local comedian, soon to be nationwide comedian because he is absolutely fucking amazing. Kuagenti. I've got a cosplayer and burlesque artist from South Carolina, or South Carolina or North Carolina. She's from South Carolina. She is May Himmer. Uh, and she is also amazingly talented. I've got Wendy Bonbons, who is a burlesque artist who I found on the Instagrams. Also, amazing artist. She does a day. There's my chat. Oh, there's the live chat. Yes, I can adjust the size of it. That's what she said. Um, pop out chat. There it is. And I think I can close this window. Can I do that? And just have the chat. Looky there. Now I can act. Come on, tell me it works. Everybody, are we awesome? Are we awesome? Or are we just good? There it is. Hot damn! I can see the. I finally fucking see chat. This is awesome. Um, hey, I just learned a new thing tonight, and let's see if this works. Uh, does this work? This work? See if that pops up, and then I can put my phone away. It didn't work. Not yet. Tell me it's going to work. Okay, anyway, Mayhemmer, Wendy Bonbons, who has her Instagrams. Oh, I know why it didn't work, because I was using... Stupid. Yes, it works. Yes, okay, so here's what's up. I get rid of this. This is not actually plugged in. It's just sitting in the way. And now I have my desk in front of me. Okay, so Wendy Bonbons is a burlesque artist I found on the Instagrams. Super talented, super amazing, super. She's out of Canada. Works in sideshow, spoken word. She fantastic. She does a regular live stream too. I have uh, 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 Dusty, not Dusty Baker, Dusty shit, Dusty. Where's her? I can't remember her last name. She's another local comic. Dusty Rhodes. There it is. Dusty Rhodes, another local comic who does a regular open mic over at Rudyard's. Brian Biggio, another local comic who does work all over the state of Texas, and Jackie Cat, who is uh, a model and a comic and a all around awesome chick, and I believe she is an expert on time travel as well. And I'll have her in on the show, and then we are chasing one more big fat get, and if I can get him in the next few days, I'll have him on the show as well, but I can't say who it is because uh, it has not yet been confirmed. Hunt for Heat. Do we sell just an empty bottle? Yes, we can sell just an empty bottle, but uh, I don't like to because I can do stuff with my bottles, like make lamps and things like that. But depending on the situation, depending on what you need, we can figure something out. I prefer to sell full bottles, obviously. Um, uh, I don't know who Big Daddy is. Okay, I don't know who that is either. Oh, there he is. Done Big Daddy. The Big Daddy's from that's an Adam Sandler character. Um, right? I think that's right. Uh, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Um, so there you go. So that's basically the lineup of our shows for November. I've also got a fairly ambitious tasting schedule to do in November. I'll be at Cypress Park, Lubbock, Wichita Falls, uh, several places in Houston that are with like an hour away from home. I've got 12 appearances that I'm going to be making in the second and third weeks of November, and it's going to be a hell of a schedule. San Antonio, I've got two appearances in San Antonio and a couple of appearances in College Station. So for those of you out of state, Texas is big. Um, Wichita Falls is about 4 hours, 5 hours away from here where I'm at now. Lubbock's about another 2 hour and a half to 2 hours away from Wichita Falls, I believe. That's going to be an overnight trip. Obviously, I'll be going to Wichita Falls and I'll be going to Lubbock. Um, then the other ones, like College Station, is like a 2 hour drive. That's an out back. I'll be back that night. Basically, when I do have those 2 hour commutes, I go for say 2 o'clock, and I stay 2 to 5 at a store, and then I go 5 to 8 at a store, and then at 8 o'clock I come home and take the 2 hour drive home. Texas is a big state. Like I can do a commute from home to a store, and the store could be 3 hours away. And 3 hours is not too far to drive. At 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I can be home by midnight. My rule is if I can be home by midnight, um, yeah, there you go, tech school, Wichita Falls. If I can be home by midnight, I'm coming home. So if I can get out of a store by seven in Dallas, if I can get out of a store by 7 or 8 o'clock, I'm coming home from that store in Dallas. Um, but if I can't make it home by midnight, I'm probably going to spend the night either in that town or somewhere on the road on the way home. So what do we got going on over here in chat? Now, what I can't see in chat is how many people we actually have on the live stream. I have to go back to my channels, I think, and look at it there. Not that it really fucking matters what's in how many people I have in the live stream. I really like the clarity of this new camera. I should have gotten a new camera a long time ago. This was only like a $50 camera, but I was holding out for a a bigger rig of a camera, and hopefully I could have gotten. I was going to get that, but I'm going to get that when we move our shows into the distillery, and I have the full light set up. Have the full light set up in the backdrop. Here's a show that we'll go back into my notebook here. Here's a show that we're working on at the distillery. Uh, what I was trying to do. Oh, Denton and the Colony. I'm working on getting to those two as well. Up in Dallas. I forgot about those two places. Um, what I was inspired by a few shows that we did that actually inspired this after show, the after hours. So what I did was I took when I had artists come in, like singer songwriters, piano players, those guys, folks like Joshua Johnson and Emma Dilemma and hey Monica, I just saw your email come through too. Uh, but Joshua Johnson, Ryan Adam Wells, JB Zay, when I got those artist guys to come in, I would give them basically a 30-minute opportunity to just play. They have the screen all to themselves. They could play all for themselves and just basically go them and the camera, them and the audience, and have their own time. And then I would take that little block and set it aside as the after hour. So, you could watch the whole show of me talking to them and interviewing them and talking about their stuff, or you could watch the after hour of just them and get me out of the way because more of them is obviously better. You don't have to look at this. So what I want to do is I want to take that concept and bring it to the distillery, have a small audience of members of our Roughneck Social Club, uh, a small audience of 5 or 10 people, maybe, because we're still under the occupancy restrictions or attendance restrictions. But even if we're not under the attendance restrictions, we could have a small little group on like a Sunday afternoon or something like that that could come in, and then I could give them a quick interview, like a quick 15-minute interview, talk about them, talk about, and then all right, this is John Q artist who's doing his thing, and let them do it. I've talked to uh, uh, a juggler who she works for Ren fairs, and like juggling is her craft. I've talked to another aerial artist, a fire artist who does the fire dancing, several singer songwriters who've come on the show, and they're good to do it on their own at the actual distillery with a small audience. So I've got like 6 or 8 acts that are kind of lined up and ready to go, ranging from sideshow to burlesque to singer songwriters to keyboardists, piano, whatever. So I've got like this whole cadre of artists who like would really thrive being able to play to a small intimate audience and can really work that kind of a room, because it's a little bit different dynamic when you're only working to 5 people versus working to a crowd of many. So that's one of the things that I want to do with this next year, And that's one of the reasons why we're on this march to 1,000 subscribers. Because if I can get the 1,000, then I can kind of leverage that small audience into a larger audience for these artists to potentially have an audience as larger than most of them have ever played for. Because they play clubs, they play bars, they get 50, 60 people, 100 people in a bar. That's a big damn audience. But if I can leverage our 1,000 subscribers into 500 to 1,000 actual views to see their performance, then that turns their performance into something that's bigger than they've ever done before, which is exciting for me and exciting for them, and hopefully it'll turn into something for them, which would be kind of cool. Mm, that is a hell of a good whiskey. Um, let's go back and check out. Uh, yeah, so if y'all know any artists that are local that can come in and be physically present and do a show on site, or an artist that would be willing to record something and send it to us, because we can do it both ways. We can do it via Zoom, but it's not quite the same thing uh, to do it in Zoom as it is to do it in person. Doing it in person is a much cooler dynamic, if you ask me. Even if it's a small crowd, and to be completely honest, I've seen some of these people perform, and they perform in front of small crowds a lot. Uh, it's not a dig on them necessarily. It's uh, more of a reflection of the venue and the date and the time when they're doing it. Because if you're doing a 10 o'clock show on a Wednesday, you shouldn't really expect to have much of a crowd because that's just the dynamic of a bar on a Wednesday night in Houston. New York, it may be different um, because New York, I guess they pack their bars every night. I don't know. I've only been to a bar in New York on a Wednesday once, and that was 20 plus years ago. Good God, that was forever ago. Man, I'm old. Anyway, so there you go. If anybody has anything they specifically want, uh, have it still messing with my mouse. It's not plugged in. Um, let's see here. The corn dogs getting to me. Gotta go to bed. Okay. Good night, Oji-san. We will. I will see you later, brother. You know the top juggling ball maker in the world, dude. That's kind of cool. Uh, I don't know that guy. That's kind of cool. Um, I didn't know such a thing existed. Uh, that there were actual juggling ball makers. I didn't realize until I met this professional juggler. I didn't realize that there was specific equipment that was made for juggling. I thought they just juggled bowling pins or whatever balls or apples or whatever they could get their hands on. I thought they just tossed things in the air and caught them. But it turns out there is a whole industry of specialty goods for jugglers. I didn't realize there were that many jugglers uh, to have need for an actual industry to do that sort of stuff. And I also am quite impressed that a industry can grow up and thrive around stuff like that. I mean, they show up at there's sideshow conventions and circus arts conventions, and I just find that fucking amazing. Okay, the corn dog is corn McCormick's and ugh, yeah, God, man, and whiskey and Mountain Dew. Okay, look, I'm about to. Do I have a soapbox over here? No, I don't. Okay, look, whiskey and Mountain Dew is garbage. It is a garbage drink. Mountain Dew is a garbage soda. Whiskey and Mountain Dew is what you do to whiskey when you're mad at it. Because I did this on my cocktail corner. It was episode 3 of the cocktail corner. Well, one, I don't like Mountain Dew. I've never liked Mountain Dew. But when you go and take Mountain Dew and you inflict on even like something terrible, I don't want to call McCormick's terrible because McCormick sells a lot of whiskey, so it's clearly not terrible. Somebody buys that. Hey, Lone Star Beer Reviews. Somebody buys that. It's a drink for somebody. But see, here's the thing. There are objectively bad whiskeys. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean to say. Like there's a whiskey for every palate. I mean, people drink bad whiskey, and it's objectively bad whiskey. They'll even tell you it's bad whiskey, but they like it. I mean, I eat Tortino's pizzas, and Tortino's pizzas, by every measurable metric, are bad. They're terrible. They're terrible pizzas. They're made with bad ingredients. They're they're barely they're barely they barely qualify as food, but I love them. They're delicious, and I eat the shit. Hell, I ate two of them yet. No, I ate one of them yesterday, and I ate one the day before. I had a different pizza today. I eat a lot of pizza. Taco Bell, that's another perfect example. They call Taco Bell food, but you and I both know that Taco Bell is not technically food. It's filler. It fills you up and gets you to the next meal. It has some nutritional value, but they call that shit food. And I don't know if that's technically true. And if they call Taco Bell food, I can call my whiskey nutritious. I mean, that's completely fair. It's on the same playing field. Don't at me with this. That's just how it is. Needless to say, there's plenty of people out there that drink stuff that's just, yeah, and eat stuff for that matter. I mean, there's people out there who like coconut. I don't understand that crap. Coconut's terrible. It has this horrible mouthfeel. It's weird, and it makes it's a perfect way to ruin a perfectly good cake, is what it is. You put coconut or cookies. Who puts coconut in a cookie? That's just a terrible, terrible joke played on people who like chocolate chip cookies. You bite into the chocolate chip cookie and you're chewing it and you're like, what's that in there? And then you feel the pieces of coconut just like digging into your cheeks. And it's like, come on, people, why the hell would you put coconut in a freaking cookie? Cookies are perfect the way they are, and you have to go and ruin them with coconuts? And come on. What was I talking about? Uh, anyway, so I guess what I'm trying to say is we're gonna do a peanut butter cup old fashioned in a few days. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. I don't remember. Um, yes, Monica, because I don't like it. It is terrible. That's just how it is. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, to each his own. If you like terrible things, enjoy them. They're no kink shaming here. Put coconuts inside you all you want. I don't get it. I don't want them. I don't like them. But that's fine. And almond joy is what saved Starlight from Black Noir. So there you go. That's a reference to a show. If you know it, you've seen it. Cheers to you guys. Um, okay, so we got Lone Star drinking Old Forester. Bravo, that's some good stuff there. I may do the corn dog. No, I can't do the corn dog because I can't do my cocktails with anything other than our whiskey, and I've already done the Old Humble whiskey and Mountain Dew, the Old Humble whiskey Dew. Anyway, so yeah, the next drink we do is going to be the um, peanut butter cup old fashioned, inspired by our friends over at 21090 who did the whiskey pairings with candy, the whiskey candy pairings. They did the pairings of uh, Halloween candy and whiskeys, and the peanut butter cup pairing with the whiskey. I saw that and I was like, you know what? Peanut butter cup is the perfect candy. It has the two best things in the entire world: peanut butters and chocolates. And when you put those two things together, it makes magic happen inside your mouth. So what I wanted to do was take that magic that happens inside your mouth and put it in with a delicious whiskey, and see what happens when you make a delicious candy into a delicious whiskey. So I think it's the next episode. It's either the next episode or the episode after that will be the peanut butter cup old fashioned, and then we'll do the Old Humble Quarantini, which is ginger ale, lime, and whiskey. Uh, and then we'll just roll from there. I'll think up three more drinks. I wasn't sure if I could do the simple syrup for the peanut butter cup old fashioned, but I tried it out yesterday. Went to the store and got. I didn't do a peanut butter cup. I got a peanut butter cup to put into the peanut butter cup old fashioned, but I accidentally ate it. So what I also got was these Reese's peanut butter bars, and it's about half a peanut butter bar. It's 2/3 of half of a peanut butter bar that went into the that went. Well, looky there! I just got a notification. Your package will be in the mail in a couple of days. Um, uh, Mountain Dew Voodoo. Okay, I need a little bit more context. What is a Mountain Dew Voodoo? Because I know whiskey dews, a shot of whiskey and a little Mountain Dew. What is a voodoo? I need to know more information on that one. So, oh, Skittles. Hmm. All right, I'll try it. I will put that on the list. Get my handy dandy notebook. Put that on the cocktail list. Mountain Dew Voodoo. Do. Voo. Do. Skittles. All right, I'll check that out and see what's up. Um, oh, it's not a cocktail. It's just the Mountain Dew. Huh. All right. Uh, I'll check it out. I'll check it out nonetheless. I'm not a fan of Mountain Dew. I didn't like Mountain Dew in college. I don't like Mountain Dew now. That was probably the worst part of the whiskey dew was that it tasted like Mountain Dew, and it may not have helped that I had Diet Mountain Dew. I got the wrong Mountain Dew at the store because I'm bad at buying Mountain Dew. Apparently, I don't know how to do that either. So I may revisit that drink and do it a second time with actual Mountain Dew and see if it comes out better. But one of the things that I do on my cocktail corners, I don't try the cocktail before the show. I'll make it I'll make it and I'll give it to my lovely wife uh, for her to tell me if it tastes okay or if I need to add anything to it or if it's missing anything. Especially if it's a drink that I just made up. I'll like put it together and I'll give it to her and see if it's okay if I need to add anything. Like the Mountain Dew, I had never had that before I made it. There was another one, an old fashioned that I made. Oh, the pumpkin spice old fashioned that I made. I had never had. I didn't try it before I made it. I made it. And I gave it to her and asked her if it was okay if I needed to add anything to it, if it needed more sweet. Um, and she said it was fine. So I went on and I made it, and I actually drank it. The first time I had it was on the show. That's episode one. The second episode we did was the Grand Canyon Martini, which is a drink that I actually discovered. I discovered it I didn't discover it like invent it. I found it at a bar or at a restaurant on the south lip of the Grand Canyon, south rim of the Grand Canyon. And then the Whiskey Dew, of course, it's a legendary drink that we pulled off of the interwebs. So this old fashioned, this peanut butter cup old fashioned, I've never had one. I've never even heard of one for that matter. I didn't think such a creature existed. Uh, but when I read that you could make a peanut butter cup simple syrup with peanut butter and chocolate, I was like, okay, well, hell, that's easy. Yeah, pecan pie. That'll be episode 6, I think. So 4, 5, and 6. 4 was the Grand Canyon. 5 is the peanut butter. 6 pecan pie is going to have to get pushed to 7. 6 is going to be the Quarantini, which was the first. It was either the first. I think it was the second episode. This little 15-minute episode. It was the second episode we did of the Old Humble Quarantine cocktail show before it became the Quarantine Cocktail Happy Hour. Um, so yeah, that is on the list. And that's another one. See, the pecan pie old fashioned. The simple syrup for the pecan pie requires you to boil the pecans along with the spices and sugars, and then drain the syrup off of the pecans. So I need a little bit extra time to make that simple syrup. And all of these cocktails are going to be available at the distillery. Uh, hey, half crazy catfish and cheers, guys! All of these cocktails are going to be available at the distillery at our tasting room, and um, uh, yeah, I'll start incorporating them more into the show because it's a really cool way to enjoy the whiskey. It's a different, it's a different. I mean, this is how I usually drink them, how I like it. But to think of new and different ways to make simple syrups. Simple syrups are great. Uh, you know, boil some water, throw in some sugar, and add some spices, and bam, you have a hell of a drink. Um, lemon drop would be an interesting cocktail to do with a whiskey. I mean, the traditional lemon drop is a shot that's done with vodka, but I don't see any reason why you couldn't do a lemon drop, a whiskey lemon drop. One of the cocktails that we serve when we do tours, we do two cocktails when you do a tour of the distillery. Two signature cocktails that we do. One is the apple blossom cocktail, which is just simply apple juice and cinnamon, shaken with ice and whiskey. And that's the first one, the apple blossom. The second one is the Colonel Angus cocktail, which is lemonade, a hint of peppermint, a shot of whiskey, shake it on the rocks, and serve it. The Colonel Angus is a summertime treat, a Southern tradition. You come home from a long day at work, you sit down with the one that you enjoy spending your time with. You have a little Colonel Angus. It's a great way to cap off your evening, a great way to cap off your afternoon. Some people come home from work at lunch, and sneak into the house with when their wife's at home or their husband's at home. They slip into the house and they go into the kitchen for a little Colonel Angus. Some people slip out of the office and they go have a rendezvous with their secret lover for a little Colonel Angus. It is certainly a tradition, certainly in Texas, but Colonel Angus is a delightful treat, and if done right, it makes everybody happy. If done wrong, it can be. I mean, the peppermint is way overpowering if the Colonel Angus is done wrong. But if the Colonel Angus is done right, puts a smile on everyone's face. You're very relaxed when you're done with it, and you can go on with the rest of your day. And that's the best thing about the Colonel Angus cocktails. Hmm. Somebody's going to drink all my whiskey. That's unfortunate. So I'm having a little straight whiskey, just one tonight. Oil Slick. Well, that was the first name for our Black Swan cocktail. So the Black Swan cocktail is also another cocktail that we did early in the cocktail quarantine cocktail happy hour series. It's basically coffee, uh, hot coffee and whiskey. So it's a hot coffee and whiskey, named in honor of the remarkable times that we live in. A Black Swan event is an event that should happen once every whatever 1,000 years. It was used way back when to actually describe the event of the birth of a black swan or the sighting of a black swan because they were thought to be extremely rare. In financial terms, it was used when the Russian bond market froze up and they defaulted on their debts back in the early 90s. And it was like, this is a rare event. Something like this is never going to happen. And then another black swan event happened 3 years later. Another black swan event happened a couple years after that when our tech industry froze up in the late 90s. Another black swan event happened when Enron collapsed. Another black swan event happened when uh, our markets collapsed briefly in the late or mid 2000, the mid aughts of the 2000s. Another black swan event happened in 2008 when our mortgage industry collapsed and the insurance industry collapsed. Another black swan event. So, what I'm trying to say is, we live in remarkable times where some of us have lived through a dozen or so black swan events. So, the naming of the black swan cocktail is exactly that. And then the sister to that was the white swan, which you add a little milk to that. Um, the white squirrel cocktail. You know, we've got black squirrels in our neighborhood too. You know, the little red squirrels that run around. Every once in a while, you see one that's like really dark, a little black squirrel running around too, which is, you know, they look really out of place, and not just because we live in the suburbs. Son of a bitch, I hate me sometimes. Uh, but yeah, they're adorable little squirrels. But yeah, that's why we named the Black Swan cocktail for that. Uh, I wanted to call it the oil slick, but it sounded kind of gross. Um, what else do we? Where is around here? Because I'm intently curious to where we can find these albino squirrels because they sounds fascinating. Um, but now we also have as a companion to our Black Swan cocktail. There's not much of this left because I was drinking it the other night. This is our Black Magic liqueur, which is a cold brew, a whiskey infused cold brew coffee. Okay, East Tennessee. I've got family out in Murfreesboro, uh, which I believe is Middle Tennessee. Yeah. No, I think they're near Memphis. Murfreesboro is near Memphis, isn't it? White Squirrel Festival. Huh, fascinating. Huh. I would think white squirrels would live for a little bit further north where there's more snow. Uh, but you know, whatever. Good for them. Um, okay, West Tennessee. So Murfreesboro's in West Tennessee. Yeah, near Memphis. That's what I thought. Um, yeah, he's my cousin and my cousin and my little baby cousins that are his kids. His son, my other cousin, moved to Massachusetts near Boston. Uh, he is a he was a missionary pilot and he lives in Boston. Uh, anyway, so there you go. And near Nashville. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so that's what we got going on for November for our series. On Tuesday, we have Alyssa Kopinski on the happy hour. On Thursday, we have a live stream of our happy hour with Slade Ham. He is a fantastically funny dude. I have no idea how that show is going to go because it'll be live. This will be the first time using, well, the second time using my camera live for a quarantine happy hour. Um, so it'll be the second time using this. I will look gorgeous. He will have to. I mean, he'll have to just deal with whatever cameras he has. Actually, I think he has a really good camera over at his place too. He is a world traveler. He has his own channel, so you can go check him out on Slade Ham on the YouTubes. You can find him with the Whiskey Brothers online on the Twitters, Facebooks. I believe they have an Instagram page too, and of course the podcast, the Whiskey Brothers podcast. It is uh, delightfully raunchy, and if as the announcer says at the beginning of the show, if you are easily offended, this will do it for you. So they're a fun bunch of guys. They're a fun bunch of guys. I'm several episodes behind on their podcast. I don't commute to the office anymore. So in my old job, my previous life, which I left about a year ago, as a matter of fact, a year and 1 day ago, as a matter of fact, um, in my previous life, I would commute an hour to work and an hour back. So I would get a full uh, 2 hours worth of live stream or podcast I could listen to. Good night, Christina, Hunt for Heat. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Get yourself a good night's sleep. We're really um, close to wrapping this all up. Um, I feel like I'm just talking to myself. Hey, Leprechaun TV, cheers. Welcome to the show. I don't know if you got in here earlier, but I'm glad you made it in today, or this evening. Uh, but yeah, that was a that was a hella stupid commute, and I'm so glad I don't do that anymore. What's really funny though is now that the apocalypse started, everything that we kept telling my horrible ex boss that we needed to do, like work from home 2 or 3 days a week, they're doing now. So it's almost as if uh, nature decided to do this to the entire country just so that Dave would finally listen to his employees. Because God, he was terrible. I don't miss working at regional bank, or at the regional bank that I used to work at. Anyway, um, so there you go. That's the stuff that we have coming up on the show next month in November. Those are the guests we've got for sure booked. Kua Genti, Mayhemmer, Wendy Bonbons, Dusty Rhodes, Brian Biggio, Jackie Cat, and one more big get that I'm going to reveal, hopefully be able to reveal in the next couple of days. Uh, Ridiculously popular YouTuber. Uh, it'll be a stretch to get him. Hopefully, we'll be able to get him, uh, and that'll be a fun show. That'll be a big show. It'll probably be the last show of the month too. Uh, but we'll just have to see. If anybody wants to jump on with me on Tuesday, the 3rd of November, I will have the Zoom link in the comments of the show. I'll be working the election during the day, and we'll be doing kind of a results watch party. Uh, we usually do that at the distillery, kind of an election night party, but I haven't been able to do an election night party uh, last couple of years. In 2018, I think I was busy that night. I don't. I was off doing some sales stuff on that night, and then uh, well, nobody really pays attention to the elections on the odd years. So this year, I would like to reprise that. We'll do it online. Uh, I know it has all the potential of turning into a shit show, but uh, hey, why not? Let's do a shit show for once. It'll be fun. And I'll also be doing the Lay's and Pringles one chip challenge, where I will have a plate of chips in front of me, and I can only eat one of each, and we'll see how that works. I don't know if I'm going to succeed at that challenge. The Pocky one chip challenge may actually be an easier challenge than the Pringles one chip challenge. Uh, I'll know for sure in 2 weeks. I'll know for sure. Um, and there you have it. I've got several other shows coming out. Cocktail Corners coming the next 3 weeks. Uh, we'll do some more live streams. Tomorrow night, wait, what? Tomorrow night's Friday night. Saturday night, we'll do another cookie clicker live stream. Oh, I don't understand why people watch that. It was 9 hours of just this cookie clicker thing running on the screen. But I mean, surprisingly enough, people click onto the video and watch 5-10 minutes of it. I don't, whatever. I'm gonna give the people what they want. If I get, I mean, people watch it, people like it. I got several likes on those videos. Uh, I mean, I'm on for the first couple hours to uh, check and see, and I am a Google guest. Oh, so we got to do a Google Meet. I can do a Google Meet. I I can do either Google Meetup or a Zoom. I can do Streamlabs. I can do any of those. I've got I think my Streamlab is uh, I haven't ever done a Streamlab directly to the YouTube. I've done a Streamlab to the Facebook, uh, but I haven't done a Streamlab to the YouTubes. I could probably do that. I've got the Google Meetup. I've got that as a page, uh, a capture screen in my OBS, so I could do Google Meet for this. I mean, I can do all kinds of stuff. I'm easy. I'm flexible. I'm like a Russian fucking gymnast. Easy. Google Friends. God damn! Now you're gonna throw something in there that I don't know what it is, man. I have 2 weeks to research and find out what it is. I'll get back to you on that. Google Friends. Yeah, I think you just put two words together that sounded familiar, like that TV show from the '90s and that search engine. And this is a thing now. I'm not convinced that. I'll research it. I'm sure it's a thing. We'll see what we got. Uh, we'll see what we got. My allergies are beginning to bug me. Why the hell are my allergies bugging me at midnight? Ah, damn it. Okay, so here's what's up. I've got to get to the distillery in the morning because I've got work to do. So I need to wrap this up. TV. Uh, cheers, everybody. I'm really glad that the new camera looks as good as it does. This is a delightful treat. Cheers, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in and helping me test my new equipment. Thanks for the chat. This was this was more fun than it should have been because it was supposed to just be uh, a tech confirmation. But we chatted about all the stuff, and I appreciate that. Guys, girls, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful night. Cheers, and we'll see you again soon.